All right, what's going on, big dog? So, other than my last video, which I posted, which was about the transgender stormtrooper in the new Star Wars comics, I believe, I don't tend to get very political on this channel. I try to keep my politics and my entertainment separated from each other. I do enjoy listening to politics. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I watch a lot of people on YouTube. But my goal when making these videos is to hopefully entertain you guys. I would like to entertain you guys, give you a laugh, or maybe you just learn something. So I try to keep politics out of there. But I happen to be scrolling across Twitter, as you can see here. It might look like TikTok, but this is on Twitter. And I watched this video of Hasan Piker. And honestly, I've never done content on him before. I don't like Hasan. That's just how I lean politically. I'm not a fan of Hasan. I don't like really any of his takes. I don't think of him as like a great person. I don't want anything bad to happen to the guy. I don't wish him to like not have a successful career or anything like that. I'm just not a fan. So if you could respect that, that'd be great. I'm just not a fan of the guy, but I wanted to take apart some of his arguments in this short little clip we have here because it's about how young, mainly young white males, young white men, are gradually more and more leaning to the right in political aspects. And he does make some solid points on why this is and what could be going on, but he also misses a lot of the big picture. So I just kind of wanted to break this down, and I thought it would make for an interesting video. So let's give it a go. Give it a go.
There is a massive amount of right-wing radicalization that has been occurring, especially in younger male spaces. Everything is completely dominated by right-wing politics. If you're a dude under the age of 30 and you have any hobbies whatsoever, whether it's playing video games, whether it's working out, whether it's, I don't know, listening to like a history podcast or whatever, every single facet of that is just completely dominated by center right to, I
Okay.
wouldn't say far right.
Okay. I'm going to stop it right there because what he's talking about is kind of true and kind of not. So there is a lot of podcasts out there that are targeted, and that's the key word, targeted at young white males, those under 30, like he said. A lot of these podcasts, the Andrew Tates of the world, Aiden Ross, even if you listen to like Ben Shapiro or Michael Knowles, Andrew Clayton, any of those guys at the Daily Wire over there, if you listen to them, Jordan Peterson's another great example. A lot of what they're talking about is the opposite narrative of what the left talks about when it comes to politics, which is, and this is a fact, they don't like young white men. The left does not like young white men, and they make it very obvious whether it be I mean, I've seen people reading books to their babies on stuff that's called like how not to be a rapist because because they say their son's a white baby, a white male, so they think he's just going to grow up and rape somebody, which is not going to happen. That's not how this works. And teaching them about it so young definitely isn't going to help that. What a lot of these far right or quote unquote far right leaning places do is they do target this demographic because they are the ones being alienated by the other demographic. You listen to the left and they talk about how men should be weak and men should be fragile and men should be, men should be able to just have their feelings out on their shoulders. And as a male, that is something that is really hard to do. Okay? Girls, for the most part, they can let their feelings out and people are going to be there to comfort them. Any dude in the world will try to comfort any girl in the world if it, because he thinks he's going to get laid. I hate to break it to you, ladies, but he thinks he's going to get laid. So he'll sit there and comfort you and whatever. And even if he doesn't, oh well, he gets some brownie points at the end of the day. That's step in the right direction. And he seems like a nice guy. So it's a win-win for him. When a guy comes out and talks about his emotions and his feelings, I've had this personally happen to me on 2 different occasions. I've had 2 different girls tell me that that is not what men do. That's not manly anymore. They just don't look at me the same anymore. Like they had respect for me because I was just this like strong, upfront man, right? Like I tried to be that guy who doesn't cry, who doesn't get emotional, who, puts on that, hey, dad's home face and like everything's okay. Like I tried to be that strong, broody man. And then when I was coerced into talking about my feelings, you get told that now you're a pussy and they lose respect for you, right? So it kind of sucks. I'm not saying all women are like that. I'm sure there are plenty of relationships out there where the guy can be as open as he wants and is totally fine. But this is just me talking from my personal experience. So yeah, I mean, he's right in saying that the left doesn't target that demographic. They've actually alienated that demographic by far.
Right, in the same way that it was back in like the 2016 era at the end of like Obama's administration, but like definitely center right to Trumpian right, like openly Trump right, not like genuinely neo-Nazi. That part is quieted down a little bit, but like
Oh,
they're
good. The
like 90%
neo-Nazis
of the
have
way
quieted
there for
down.
the most part, and that's it. Everything that they see is
But we're
right-wing
90% of the
sentiment
way
being
there.
expressed.
So he says we're 90% of the way to being neo-Nazis. Like, this is why I don't watch this guy, dude. He just takes the most radical, like, parts and just amplifies them by 10. He always is trying to be just this, like, he says the worst thing possible all the time, and he never gets in trouble for it. And I hate it so much. It's so fucking irritating to listen to. How he'll just say these awful takes, and he'll get caught lying and having these awful takes. People have made tons of videos on Hasan Piker. Like, they have made so many videos on this guy, and they've had so much beef. What was it? Was it like the Willie Max show, I think is what it was called on YouTube. He had a big, let's look it up. Let's look it up. I can't type. Willie. Is it this one? Yeah, this guy right here, right here. He made some bomb videos on Hasan, just destroying him. And it was incredible to watch. It really was. Like, he absolutely destroyed Hasan up and down. And then Hasan got him into a debate. And Hasan then got crushed in that debate because Hasan's basically defense was, you don't know what you're talking about because you don't listen to politics enough. And the guy would be like, here's my evidence. And then you'd be like, you don't even know, like, what part exact second of the video that you made, like, almost 4 months ago. You can't remember the exact second and just pull it up right now. And Hasan didn't even watch the video. He didn't even research it. It was a mess. It was bad for Hasan. It was a bad look for Hasan for sure. But anyways, let's let's go.
By individuals that they find charismatic, thought leaders, influencers that they subscribe to.
Correct.
And I think that that is some of the reason why you see this movement.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, he's 100% correct in saying that they aren't. Again, I said this at the beginning. He's 100% correct saying that they aren't targeting these young men under 30. The left is not targeting them. They're actually anti-targeting them. They're telling them that they're terrible. They're telling young men that you are a bad person. And that sucks. Okay, as a young man, like hearing that growing up, hearing that in college, that really sucked. Like, I grew up in an area that's pretty right-leaning, which is probably why I'm right-leaning, so sorry. But I grew up in an area that's right-leaning, and, you know, you had to be that traditional man, that tough, brooding man. And when I got to college, which everybody at college was a lot more, you know, center left, if not far left. And I'm told that because I'm this, you know, I'm supposed to be this broody man, and I try to explain to them, like, oh, this is just how I am, and that's how I like to be. And even now today, that's just who I am. And I enjoy being that way. I enjoy, you know, being the provider, the protector, that kind of stuff. I enjoy that stuff. Not that a woman can't. I'm not against that. Shit, if my wife one day was like, you want to be a stay-at-home husband? I make 200K a year now. I'd be like, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'll stay home and watch the kids. I don't care. Like, that's fine. I just want to be like a provider and protector, and there's different ways of doing both of those. You know, like my way of providing, I guess, would be staying at home and making sure the kids are on time for everything and getting the proper education and nutrition and blah. Like, that would be my way, right? And protecting is when the family needs protecting. I step up and I protect the family. You know, so you can do those things without having like a brute force job, like a blue collar job, like I do. You can do all those things from an office and still be a phenomenal man. But for whatever reason, being a phenomenal man is now frowned upon, at least from the perspective of the left. And that is why they don't have the audience that they are wishing they had right now. Like, if they had targeted these young men and said, hey, no, you should be a strong brooding man too, you know, but maybe cut back on some of these other things and had a conversation instead of just outright alienating them, I genuinely think that they could win the upcoming election. But at least from what I'm seeing currently, it's not looking good for them. But anyways, guys, that's really all I got for you today. If you did enjoy, remember, please leave a like, comment, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't really do a ton of videos that are like this, where I just kind of am sitting here reacting. So I know I'm supposed to like look at the camera and whatever. I'm still getting used to that, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to please like, comment, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and all that good stuff. Check me out on all my socials. Links will be down below. So go check those out. Give me a follow, especially on Twitch. I'm live almost every single day playing a variety of games. And I'm trying to get into doing games with viewers, but we got to get a little more viewers over on Twitch. So if you guys could come support that, that would also be fantastic. But anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. And until the next video, Godspeed.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me.